Good morning. It's Saturday, May 16th, and I'm going to put the front wheel and fender on this bike and then see what else is on the work order and maybe do a test ride today. So even though the tire is old and cracked, we will, if Kevin's willing, if not, I will, ride it at least around the block just to make sure all the gears work and the brakes work. Yeah, we actually took a bike out the other day that didn't have an operational front brake, and neither of us noticed. Neither. Isn't that amazing? Oh well. So anyway, I've got it up on the lift. I've got the safety chains up on the sky hook holding it up for safety. It's not actually holding it, it's just sort of there for safety. I don't like having bikes up with wheels off and balancing on a small jack stand, even though there's a board across the bottom. So I always use the sky hook for two reasons. One, for safety, and two, because I own it. And if you got it, you might as well use it. So first thing I'm going to do is put a bar across the bottom of the forks and make sure that these caps are screwed down as tight as possible without being stupid about it. And then the wheel, then the fender, or the fender, then the wheel, depending on which works easier. Now, with a BSA, is it easier to put the wheel on first, then the fender, or the fender on first, and then the wheel? I really don't know. Plan B. I'm going to put the front wheel on. Then I'm going to worry about the fender, one way or another. Matter of fact, I just might not worry about that fender at all right now because we really need to replace this front tire. This bike is extremely dangerous as is. What I try to do here is make sure that the gap on both sides is equal, at least visually. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this bike like this. I'm going to hook up the front brake and see if Kevin is willing to test ride it. And tell the client we got to change this front wheel. I mean, it's just too dangerous to be operated this way. And if he says okay, then we'll get a new front wheel, new front tire. In the meantime, I'll show you how to adjust this double leading shoe front brake. All right, adjusting the double leading shoe front brake, or twin leading shoe, depending on your nomenclature. First of all, disconnect everything. I just re-disconnected the cable. Now you can do this by just pulling one of the pivot pins out, okay? But these are kind of nasty, grody, dirty, so I'm going to pull them both out, clean them up, and lubricate them. Hopefully. So stand by while I do that. All right, I've I wire wheeled this connector, and I've cleaned up the. I have not released this adjustment, which is basically not doing anything. It's the adjustment lock washer, lock nut. It's not doing anything. It's just sort of hanging there, hanging out in the breeze. So I thought I'd put this on and see if the adjustment is anywhere near correct at this point in time. And you do that with two 9/16 wrenches simultaneously. So we pull this up and push these back. And you can't see that, so let's do this. Let's do that. I'm going to hold this one all the way in. This is just for the video. You would not do this. holding this one all the way in, fully engaged. Now, when you fully engage this one, this guy should be perfectly adjusted right to the hole. And frankly, it's not bad. It's really close. Oh, let's get a drift. At this point, they're both fully engaged. This is good. And now I can go ahead and lock this down. All right. Okay, so it's all put back together. It involved putting in larger cotter keys, of which I had. So he's got 2 brand new cotter keys, and it is fully adjusted, and the brake should work just fine. So now I'm going to hook up the cable. But first, I'm going to go up here and put some lubrication in the cable because, as Kevin and I say, there's always time for lubrication. So, all right, so let's see how this thing works, and then we'll see how it goes. All right. Feels good.
That's half the battle.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Now I'm speaking to the world now, Richard. Stand by. I'm not going to put the fender on right now. I'm going to see if Kevin's willing to test ride this thing slowly around the neighborhood without doing any curves, just to see if the transmission works. And you know what? Actually, the client rode this thing in here. It starts and runs just great. So I'll ask him if he wants me to do tires, and if he does not, then I'll put the fender on. If he does, then I will put the fender on.
Just put some shoe polish on those cracked tires.
One of my followers suggested shoe polish. I thought that was really funny. Straight out of the movie World's Fastest Indian.
His name wasn't Bert, was it?
Yep, Burt Monroe.
Makes them look spick and span.
Puts them right back to original. Okay, all right, working on this black 69 BSA.
Bigfoot. Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot, right. Kevin has agreed to take it down around the block and hit a couple of speed humps that we have down on 16th Street just to see if he can hear any clanking coming out of the front end. The owner wrote it in here, so it should start. We've not yet started it. This is a cold start. Okay, got headlight. That's good. And he's going to give it a stroke and see what happens. Making a lot of clanky noises. Sounds good. We're going to let him go out. All right, so what he's not going to do the extended test ride just because of the condition of the tires, but he is going to go down to 16th Street down there. There's a speed hump to the right and a speed hump to the left. And I asked him to please hit those speed humps a couple of times and see if he hears any noise coming from the front end at all. So we'll see what he says when he comes back. All right, here he comes. Bike runs very nicely. All right, welcome back.
All right. Good ride, fine. Everything went fine. I did our normal route, even though the tires are 2013, and I didn't get up to speed that I normally would on a couple of straightaways. But no big thunk. Everything's fine. Brake work fine. It shifts nicely. Accelerates well. Good compression when you downshift. So no, other than the tires, I would say that and that's up to the owner. The bike itself is good, ready to go.
Okay, we have two speed humps down there on 16th Street, and I saw you turn left to go up, so you hit that one, and I saw you turn left when you came back, which means you hit the other one.
Right.
So hit both of those, and I mean, no rattling, clattering, nothing.
No thunk, and there are a few kind of dipsy doodles up
That's true.
the ways, and I hit those pretty hard intentionally,
Yeah.
and it's the normal. I mean, it's a 60-year-old suspension, so it wasn't like I was floating on air, but it was fine. It was perfectly normal.
Okay,
Nothing, no clunks, no. The report from the owner was a clunk, and I didn't hear anything. It was fine.
All right. Then I'm going to talk to the owner, see if he wants tires. If he doesn't, I'll put the front fender on and he can take the bike back. The other thing on the work order was a couple of oil leaks, and I don't see them. So, I mean, seriously, the bike sat over here in this place for about 3 days, and I got nothing. So, anyway, I'm going to... and chasing oil leaks is just a horrendously long process. So I'm going to let the client decide what he wants to do next to it. Basically, at this point in time, either I'll dress it out and give it to him, or I'll put tires on it and give it to him. And that's the way it is.